What to do, YouTube? First day of padded training camp. I'm excited. Saw a lot of articles. Saw a lot of little clips. Particular quarterbacks were spoken about. Oh man! So I went over and looked at like three different articles. Me personally, I'm not really a fan of these because I like to see things for myself. I know I stated this over the past 5 years of doing this. I like to see things for myself. I don't like reading articles about what exactly is going on because of the fact some people have specific bias towards certain players. You may not notice, but it just is. It's just how we work. All right. So I looked over three different ones. Three ones I saw. The one by Travis Wingfield, the one by Omar Kelly on the Sun Sentinel, and there was another one. Can't remember that one off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But I felt like the Sun Sentinel one from Omar Kelly was the most descriptive one. So we're going to go ahead and go over that one. The Travis Wingfield one on the Miami Dolphins website, it did show, it mixed in a whole bunch of quotes from the press conferences that some of the players had today with Kyle Van Noy, Jerome Baker, and Brian Flores in there. But in particular, as far as what was actually going on the field, going on during this morning's practice, was a little bit more descriptive with the Sun Sentinel Omar Kelly one. So again, we're gonna go ahead and go over that. Make sure I leave the links in the description for those. So if y'all want to go ahead and just check it out yourselves and read it over and get your own takeaway from it, by all means. But again, we're gonna go over the one from the Sun Sentinel by Omar Kelly. Excuse me. Ryan Fitzpatrick might be projected as the Miami Dolphins starting quarterback because of his experience and mastery of the new offense. And Tua Tagovailoa might be the Dolphins' hotshot rookie after being selected number 5 in the 2020 NFL Draft. But Josh Rosen's clearly pushing to make sure he's not the forgotten quarterback. Moment of silence. Let's move on. Rosen, who is beginning his third season in the NFL and is learning his seventh offense since his days at UCLA, got off to a hot start in Miami's first official day of training camp practice. Rosen threw a 75-yard bomb to speedster Jakeem Grant, who beat second-year quarterback Ken Webster for a touchdown during the first session of 11-11s. Grant's speed had him wide open downfield behind Miami's entire secondary, and Rosen put the pass on a rope, allowing him to catch it in stride. Oh man, I think this got to be my favorite training camp ever. It's got to be my favorite training camp ever. I'm not saying anything yet. I'm just liking what I'm reading so far. Josh Rosen off the break, showing that he belongs in this league. Because, you know what? I don't even think I want to go into it today because we go over this almost every single time. And it just feels like I must be speaking a different language sometimes. I really do. It just, let's move on. Let's just move on. In the second 11-on-11 period, he threw a nice check down pass to Patrick Laird, who gained 15 yards on the play. Okay, here's the thing. All right. So far, so good for Josh Rosen in day one of training camp. I just want to say, if he continues to play the way that he's playing, to be honest with you, I don't see the reason why the Miami Dolphins should trade him. Now, I had a conversation 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. I don't want to mention nobody's name. I had a conversation with this person, and I was like, interesting. Of the fact that, let's say if Josh Rosen doesn't end up being good enough to be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, what is the point of trading him? I don't see the reason. Because of the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick, last year of his contract, we're going to need a backup quarterback if Josh Rosen is Not that I think he's a starter, but most of y'all think he's a backup. If he's as bad as you guys make him to be, why can't he just be the backup for the Miami Dolphins? Like, it's a hot commodity for a second string quarterback, and if he becomes the backup, it wouldn't be that much of a knockoff from Tua, but I don't see the reason why we should trade him. Now, if the asking price is, let's say, something involving a first round pick, okay, well, I'm sorry, we're going to have to move on from that. But at the end of the day, if we're not getting at least a second, I wouldn't even entertain the trade, to be honest with you, as far as Josh Rosen is concerned. But it's showing maturity that Josh Rosen threw a check down pass down to Patrick Laird. Look, that was one of the biggest issues. Not going for the home run play every single play. Sometimes you win when you end up throwing a check down to the running back. You know? But yeah, so far so good for Josh Rosen. Let's move on. Rosen was sharp on a day when Tagovailoa sparingly threw passes while working with the backups. If Rosen, who the Dolphins traded a second and fifth round pick to Arizona to acquire before the 2019 season, keeps up this level of performance, it might be difficult for Miami to overlook his contributions and could help the Dolphins generate possible interest from a quarterback-thirsty team. Again, come on now. If it's a first-round pick, okay. But if it's not, I'm not entertaining it. I really wouldn't even entertain it because due to the circumstances, you need 3 quarterbacks on the roster. You need it because you never know what could happen. People coming on and off of the COVID list, like we got to have 3 quarterbacks on this roster. I don't see us trading Josh Rosen off this team unless it's a first-round pick. Say it again. And then if he becomes the starter, woo! I think the Dolphins, they should go crazy, man. I think it's gonna go crazy. But let's move on. Eric Flowers spent 2 weeks on the COVID-19 reserve list, participated in his second practice on Monday, but the big-ticket free agent addition didn't finish the session, spending the final 2 periods working with a trainer on the side while a reserve replaced him. Flowers, who played left guard during his tenure with Washington before joining the Dolphins, will likely continue to fill that role. If he can improve his conditioning and get back to full strength, if he can get back to full strength. Austin Jackson, the Dolphins' second of 3 first-round picks, and Julian Davenport are battling for the left tackle spot. All right, let's look at Eric Flowers for a second. All right, so Eric Flowers is off the COVID list now. So 9 times out of 10, he's going to be playing that left guard position. Now, thinking about it, we have a lot of depth on this roster. You have, as far as guard is concerned, you have Eric Dieter, you have Eric Flowers, you have Robert Hunt, Solomon Kenley. I think he can make a push, and then the possibility of Jesse Davis. Me personally, I just feel like Jesse Davis. Thinking about it, Jesse Davis is more that versatile switch guy where if we have an injury on the offensive line, he can come in and plug and it won't hurt as much. That's what I'm thinking. Because to be honest with you, I know I did state this before. Jesse Davis did show some improvement towards the end of the season. But at the end of the day, I really don't want to see him in the starting lineup, to be honest with you. He had his time. It's been 3 seasons in Miami. I think it's his time for us to let these young guys play, to be honest. So, I ain't gonna lie. I slept on Julian Davenport. By this quote right here, Austin Jackson, the Dolphins' second of 3 first-round picks, and Julian Davenport are battling for the left tackle spot. Like I said to you in the offensive line training camp battle video, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Jackson is not the starting left tackle for the Miami Dolphins. You already know how I feel about Austin Jackson, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Solomon Kenley and Robert Hunt appear to be competing for the starting right guard spot, with Hunt being cross-trained to play right tackle. So, again, Eric Flowers may end up staying there. Still haven't heard anything about Michael Dieter yet. But, yeah. Eric Flowers might end up be standing at left guard, and then Solomon Kenley and Robert Hunt going to battle it out as far as who's going to be that right guard position. But we're not going to remove the possibility that tackle is also on the table when we thinking about Robert Hunt. Jesse Davis, who has started games at every position but center in his 3 years with the Dolphins, continued to take snaps at center, like he previously stated he'd been doing for cross-training purposes. Okay, so Ted Karras is obviously the starter so far. Now, again, no Michael Dieter conversation yet, so, getting ahead of myself. Let's move on. Davis has stressed that COVID-19 could force players to be put in emergency situations, and his goal is to know how to play every position on the offensive line. However, it is Michael Dieter who likely has the best shot to serve as Ted Karras' backup. Answer my own damn question. So, Michael Dieter, possibility he could be the backup to Ted Karras. Honestly, again, I'm gonna go reiterate this again. I'm not sold on Ted Karras yet because he did come from the New England Patriots. Tom Brady gets rid of the ball fairly quickly, so I'm not reading too much into Ted Karras just yet. I wouldn't say that he won the job just yet. So we're going to continue to evaluate that particular position because I don't think he won that just yet, and I really want to see Michael Dieter play. That is a biased opinion. I really want to see him play, but I'm not going to rule it out. Moving on. Preston Williams suffered his season-ending knee injury fielding a punt last season, but the second-year receiver continued to work in that role during Monday's session. Williams looks fairly recovered from the reconstructive surgery he had last November. While the second-year receiver did limp at times, his stride doesn't seem to be labored on day one. Okay, so let me tell you what my mindset was before players started opting out. I stated this before, but honestly, I was thinking, all right, so if Preston Williams is not ready to go, Allen Hurns he'll be a steady fill-in until he's ready to go. I don't want to see Preston Williams be rushed back into this and we end up having another Ryan Tannehill type of situation where he ends up hurting it even worse than what he did. So I would expect them to ease him in because Preston Williams is, if we lose another receiver, like then I'll be concerned because right now I'm not concerned. Preston Williams, he's out there, he's making plays. Let's just ease him in, and then we'll go from there. This is just training camp. We already know what we got out of you. We want to continue to see you to recover, and we want to take it easy with you. Just take it easy with him because I don't want nothing to happen. I'm already seeing headlines from other training camps of players getting hurt, like Dallas Cowboys and Jerry McCoy. I don't want to see that for us. Grant Chester Rogers, the veteran, signed last week, and undrafted rookie Matt Cole also handled the punt return duties. Interesting. General Manager Chris Greer watched the early portion of practice from the right back corner of the field, which is where the tailbacks and offensive linemen reside. The Dolphins are constructing a new starting offensive line, and the starting tailback spot seems to be wide open. Chris Greer is right where he need to be. I'll be completely honest with you. He's right where he need to be. Because, again, that is the biggest issue for the Miami Dolphins over the course of the past 5 years, is the offensive line and the running back position. It's been a big issue. For some particular reason, we have failed to be able to protect our quarterback and establish a running game. That you're exactly where you need to be, Chris Greer. Exactly where you need to be. Undrafted rookie Benito Jones is a big boy. He's listed at 6'1", 316 pounds, but that's clearly a conservative weight. Okay. Rayquan Mcmillan had a nice breakup of a pass to Myles Gaskin during one-on-ones. McMillan pass coverage is one area that needs improvement. I 110% agree. Look, It was somebody posted something up on Twitter about which Miami Dolphins player is currently on the bubble of possibly leaving the team. I put Rayquan Mcmillan because he's in a contract year, and the fact that he is one-dimensional. He's just a run-stuffing linebacker. If somehow he can develop himself into being a better pass, be a pass coverage linebacker, I'm good. I will pick Rayquan over anybody at the linebacker position right now if that be the case. But we'll see. We will see. Caleb Bellage picked up where he left off last season. He dropped a pass in the opening drills. No good. With no defender. No good. And fumbled during 11-on-11s. Cal Van Noy had a couple tackles on Bellage in the backfield during 11-on-11s. Here's the thing. The offensive line has been so bad. I really don't even want to read. I don't want to read too much into this because. Let me break this down. All right, let me break this down. So, Caleb Bellage dropped the pass on one-on-ones. Okay, on an opening drill. That's on him. I have been neutral about Caleb Bellage concerning him making the team. I know his chances of making the team are slim to none, considering we bought in Jordan Howard and Matt Breida. And then you have Myles Gaskin and Patrick Laird. Caleb Bellage cannot afford to be screwing up right now. He can't. And him getting tackled in the backfield and fumbling, well, the fumble in general. The fumble that you signing your walking papers right now by fumbling on. But I'm not gonna read too much in the getting tackled in the backfield because the offensive line is terrible. So I will have to see with my own eyes for me to be able to get an evaluation of that. But so far, it ain't looking too good for Caleb Bellage. As you see, the thumbnail is Caleb Bellage. This is his nice little montage because if we continue to see stuff like this, it ain't looking too good. Running back Myles Gaskin broke off a 40-yard run down the left sideline. Myles Gaskin showing highlights. Tagovailoa's first pass was a rollout dumping off to tight end Nate Waiting. Parker caught a nice 25-yard pass from Fitzpatrick, dropping into his zone coverage right behind safety Kevon Frazier. Free safety Bobby McCain could have broken the pass up if the action was live, but he let Parker come down with the catch. So, imagining that in my head, I was on the Fin Side the NFL live stream a couple days ago, and the conversation came up about Ryan Fitzpatrick and what he was doing out there as far as throwing the ball, right? So the debate was most of his throws were jump ball type of throws. Now, Bobby McCain in coverage here, able to make a play on it, does not sound too good on Ryan Fitzpatrick's part because it could be a breakup most definitely, but those are, you got to take care of the football. I can't iterate this any better than that. You just got to take care of the football. In a split field session, Fitzpatrick airmailed a pass downfield to Williams that Miami's two safeties broke up. The ball hung in the air forever. Emmanuel Ogbah beat Davis to create the pressure. Okay. 2 points. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick airmailed Preston Williams an inaccurate pass. If I haven't said this a million times, a lot of things to come into play when it comes to accuracy. And by Emmanuel Ogbah beating Jesse Davis to create the pressure, I can see why the ball was airmailed. But again, Jesse Davis got beat. Cornerback Jamal Perry had a pass breakup on a downfield throw from Fitzpatrick. Okay. Grant has always had a fifth gear, which allows him to get behind cornerbacks with ease. What he needed was a quarterback who can get the ball downfield with decent ball placement. On day one, that was Josh Rosen, who lofted a deep bomb that Grant caught behind Ken Webster and took into the end zone for what would have been a 75-yard touchdown. Okay, so, he already covered what I was about to say, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on reading. With Albert Wilson and Allen Hurns opting out of the 2019 season because of COVID-19 concerns, this is Grant's best shot to earning a starting role since joining the Dolphins in 2016. All he needs to do is keep delivering big plays, not come down with a case of drop-itis, his usual issue, and staying healthy, which was his main issue last season. I can envision a lineup that features Devontae Parker at split end and Jakeem Grant as the flanker, with Williams serving as a slot receiver. Williams has the skill set to be a slot receiver. If healthy, that might be Miami's best trio of receivers. I think they're going to have an even rotation going on as far as the slot receiver position is concerned. I feel like Jakeem Grant will see some snaps at the slot, and we're not just going to restrict just one particular receiver to the slot, because I saw Devontae Parker put in some work in the slot last year. I saw Preston Williams put in some work in the slot last year. But to piggyback off what Omar Kelly is saying, like, this is a perfect opportunity for Jakeem Grant. We talked about this last week as far as who's the best option at slot receiver coming in, and I thought it was going to be Mike Gesicki or Jakeem Grant, but Kirk Merritt has been rising up on my board. But I'm hoping for the best for Jakeem Grant, because after this season, I don't see him making the roster if he does not put together is not productive this season. Excuse me. Bellage picked up right where he left off in 2019, dropping passes and fumbling the football. Again, I want to reiterate this again. The thumbnail, this is his going out party. Bellage, who averaged a dismal 1.8 yards per carry last season, dropped an easy pass during individual drills and allowed safety Eric Rowe to force a fumble during an 11-on-11 session. Bellage's size and work ethic has always intrigued Miami's coaches, who put him ahead of Kenyon Drake last year on the depth chart and made him a starter. But his production hasn't matched his promise, and if he doesn't improve during training camp, it's possible he could fall behind Patrick Laird in Miami's tailback unit. If Bellage struggles continue, he might not make this 53-man roster. Okay. Let's go ahead and just break this down real quick. All right, so far so good. The highlight quarterback so far is Josh Rosen. So some improvement as far as not always going for the big play, checking the ball down to Patrick Laird, hitting the 75-yard bomb down the field to Jakeem Grant. At the running back position, we had a Myles Gaskin sighting. Ended up taking, if I'm not mistaken, a 40-yard run to the house. At receiver, Preston Williams is putting in work. Jakeem Grant, highlights. Two big plays going down the field. Lovely. Offensive line, Julian Davenport and Austin Jackson. Looking good. Honestly, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm rooting for Julian Davenport. I'm rooting for Julian Davenport. Them two are battling it out, as you heard, but I'm rooting for Julian Davenport. And then Eric Flowers hopefully continues to condition and solidifies that left guard position, because him at tackle is just mind-boggling. Ted Karras is currently the starter at the center position. Michael Dieter's number 2. Jesse Davis is cross-training at the center position. Solomon Kenley, Robert Hunt are currently battling out the right guard position. And then I strongly believe, by default, if Solomon Kenley just wins the job at right guard, then I think that by default, Robert Hunt's going to end up going to the right tackle position. That's how I read it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. Other than that, man, Caleb Bellage. Caleb Bellage. That's why it's the thumbnail, man. We're going to try to get we're going to try to get a good look at Caleb Bellage before he actually leaves, because based off this practice, it's not looking too good. But I'm gonna leave both articles in the description. Again, this is the second time we actually did one of these, so let me know what you guys think. Most definitely, the like button does tell all, but you know what it is. You know, excuse me. If you enjoy the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is GreatOne DeVore. I'm up out of here.